Taka. I've heard that Japan is a safe country.
What's wrong, Olivia?
There are so many crimes committed by foreigners in Japan these days.
You're acting so strange all of a sudden. Even so, Olivia is not a foreigner here.
What? What are you talking about? Are you making fun of me? I haven't committed any crimes, and I have no plans to commit any crimes. If you get carried away, I'll punch you, weight you, and drown you in the sea. Hey, give me everything in your wallet. I'll put it to good use, and you can thank me.
Calm down. I'm not saying Olivia is a criminal, and if you dunk me in the ocean, you'll be a real criminal.
Well, that's what I thought. Besides, it's the Vietnamese who are doing bad things in Japan. All I see on the news are Vietnamese crimes, right?
Well, yes, that's true. But let me tell you something. But let me tell you this. Not all Vietnamese are doing bad things in Japan.
You're right. I agree with you that there are a lot of Vietnamese who misbehave, but not all of them.
So today, I'd like to introduce you to some of the Vietnamese who commit crimes in Japan. According to the National Police Agency's statistics on crimes committed by foreigners visiting Japan, the number of crimes committed by Vietnamese nationals in Japan during the year of 2019 was 5,140, up 62% from the previous year, and surpassing Chinese nationals as the number one crime by nationality. Although the impression that Chinese are the most common criminals in Japan has remained strong for a long time, we hear more about Vietnamese criminals these days. Relatively few Vietnamese crimes are considered major crimes, and the majority are theft and illegal residence. Shoplifting continues to be the most common type of theft, accounting for 40% of all thefts, but there are also 325 cases of burglary, of which 44 are considered major crimes, more than double the number from the previous year.
I always hear and see news about people stealing livestock, vegetables and fruits, don't you? I heard from a Japanese friend that stealing livestock is almost unheard of in Japan. People in the livestock industry know how hard it is to raise livestock, so they don't steal them. And even if ordinary people do steal livestock, they don't know how to dismantle them. Most Japanese people only see the scene of animal dismemberment at meat dismemberment companies.
That's right. I'll show you what kind of crimes are common later. Last year, 2,549 Vietnamese were arrested and sent to jail, 57% of them for criminal offenses. Looking at the breakdown by status of residence, foreign students accounted for the highest percentage at 41%, followed by technical interns at 23% and permanent residents at 6%. As of the end of June last year, there were about 70,000 Vietnamese students residing in Japan, of which more than 1,000, or about 1.5%, had been arrested.
Taka, isn't 1.5% a ridiculous number? Because that would mean that 66 Vietnamese in Japan are criminals, right?
That's right. If you include potential criminals who have not been caught, the figure is said to be as high as 1 in 50 or 1 in 40.
That's a bit much, isn't it? What do they do with the stuff after they steal it? If I were them, I would steal a lot of fruit, but then I wouldn't know what to do with it after. It's food, it will go bad, and I can't give it to your friends. It's like I am showing people that I stole from them.
Shoplifting is the most common type of crime committed by Vietnamese people. Shoplifters receive instructions from their instructors in their home countries via SNS, etc., and groups of several people share the roles of watchman, executioner, and product picker. The shoplifters were found to be organized and systematic, and they used airplanes to transport the stolen goods overseas. In many cases, the thieves drive to farms and steal large quantities of fruits and vegetables, which they then transport overseas. After stealing the goods, they use Facebook to contact Vietnamese buyers and couriers of stolen goods in Japan. In the end, what would cost 10,000 yen in Japan for cosmetics, for example, will sell for about 3,000 yen in the Vietnamese market.
That's amazing. The purchase price of the stolen goods is free, so even if you add the cost of buying and transporting the goods, they end up on the market for less than the cost price.
Let me introduce you a story. In March 2014, a 25-year-old Vietnam Airlines cabin attendant was arrested by the Metropolitan Police Department on suspicion of being a courier of stolen goods, and 6 others, including a vice captain and 5 CAs, were suspended from the airline. If you look into the news reports, you will find that there is a huge organizational background to the theft.
I'm sure you're right. Even the cabin attendant and co-pilot were involved in crime.
In fact, The people behind the theft and resale group are said to be descendants of Vietnamese refugees in Japan.
What? What do you mean?
They were born in Japan and are fluent in Japanese. They use Vietnamese restaurants as hideouts to run their theft network. Of course, there are some second-generation refugees who have gone on to national universities, famous private universities, or work for major companies. But of course, not all second-generation refugees have a sound career path. Rather, depending on their social class, educational level, and dedication to family education before their parents' generation defected, there is a tendency for a more pronounced polarization than in the general Japanese population between those who can make it on the front lines of society and those who cannot.
I'm a foreigner living in Japan, and I've heard of this kind of thing. I'm also a foreigner living in Japan, but I'm ashamed to be a foreigner when I hear stories like this. I guess they came to Japan to work and earn money, but it's disgusting that they are involved in crime. I wish the Japanese police would just catch these helpless scum and throw them all in jail or deport them. Many of them are clearly violating Japanese law, aren't they? They should be punished accordingly. The very idea of stealing pigs and cows, dismembering them, and selling them cheaply to Vietnamese people via Facebook proves that they are already crazy. How about I find them, kidnap them, dismember them, and sell them at a discount to people who need their organs? I'm sure it's easy to find people who want them on Facebook. I'm sure there are groups of people who want them.
Calm down, calm down, calm down. If you do that, you will be punished appropriately and put in jail for murder. Japan still has the death penalty, so if your crime is discovered, you will definitely become a foreigner subject to the death penalty.
God damn it. I can't do it. Hey, how can it be my fault? Why is it my fault that we have to get rid of these lunatics? You're really starting to piss me off. How are you going to take responsibility for this? How can you take responsibility for something that I did not do and that some idiots have ruined the reputation of foreigners?
Olivia, that's not really the case. There is a reason why so many Vietnamese people living in Japan are suffering from poverty. In a way, they are the victims of Japanese law.
I'm kind of confused at this point. My impression is that some Vietnamese are coming to Japan and repeatedly committing organized crimes that seriously damage the image of their country. Taka, let me know what you think.
I'll explain in my next video. Thank you for watching.